everyone, welcome to another episode of Holistic Wellbeing. Today we will be discussing a topic most of you may be familiar with. That little inner voice in your head which prevents you from living your fullest life. Do you find yourself giving up because of self-doubts? Do worries about the future consume you? Are you feeling helpless and discouraged in your own life? Does social situations make you anxious? If you nodded yes to most of these questions, this video is for you. Our minds are vast landscapes where thoughts emerge. It can be either positive, negative, or neutral. It is important to discern which one to follow. Today, we will explore a technique introduced by John Gordon in his book, The One Truth. It's called the 5 Ds. That gives us a framework to look at our own thoughts and to discern which one to follow. The 5 Ds are doubt, distortion, discouragement, distraction, and division. These are just ways in which we categorize the thought from our inner critic. The first one is doubt. Sometimes we have all these fantastic ideas and want to follow it through. But then all on a sudden, a thought emerges. Can you really do it? There is a chance that you may fail. And even before we start, we may be thinking of giving up. The second one is distortion. It says lies about our future. If you follow this path, you may fail. You haven't even started, you haven't even thought about going on that path, but still, there it is. This person may harm you. Are you always worried about being hurt by others or, some harm will come upon you and your family? All these thoughts or lies are used by your inner critic. Discouragement, the thoughts that say you are not good enough and you are destined to fail. Distraction, these are the thoughts that are pulling you away from your priorities. You may want to prioritize something, focus on it, but at the same time, you will have plenty of thoughts that says you have to do this thing or the other thing. So anything that brings you distraction and pulls your focus from what you need to do, that comes under this category. The last one is division, the thought which says you are either superior or inferior to somebody else. That is the greatest lie of mankind and is responsible for some of the problems that we face, like racism, division based on social status, power and division in our society. These are all result of this division. So how do we stand up to this inner critic? The key point is to have awareness, to know that it's your inner critic at play and you don't have to follow these thoughts. And sometimes even when you are aware, it's very difficult to get rid of these thoughts. So that is where the antidotes come into play. Antidotes are the positives that you use to counter the negative thoughts from your inner critic. When you are posed with a doubt, can you really do it? Just ask your doubts, what if I can do it? Like doubt your own doubts. When you're worried about something that will happen in future, just remind yourself this is something that may or may not happen in future and I don't have to worry about it at the present moment. If you still feel there is something need to be done, then prepare for it with your available resources. Like if you have an exam tomorrow and you have a doubt that you may fail because you are not prepared, then do what you can do to prepare for it. Whenever you feel discouraged, just remind you, many other people might have done this, so why not give it a try before I discourage myself? Focus on your priorities. When you are doing something that's important, and a million thoughts may emerge, and if you find something that you really need to do, write it down in a paper so that you can do it after you complete what is your focus. When a thought of division comes into your mind, when you feel like you need to compare yourself with somebody else, remind yourself, everybody is here to live their own life. And it may be a different path. There is no point in comparing yourself with somebody else or feeling superior or inferior to somebody else. When you can identify these thoughts from your inner critic and feed them with positivity, it will just go away. Practice it for a few times and you'll see a big change. If you find difficulty in following this strategy, maybe you'll need a little more inner work. If you feel like you need some help, please feel free to reach out. Thank you for joining us today.